You often hear about platinum as one of the minerals that are mined in South Africa. In this video, grade 12, we are going to be looking at platinum mining for Economic Geography of South Africa 2026. Stay tuned. So, welcome to Educate Grade 12. We'll be looking at platinum mining in South Africa. Let's first look at where is platinum usually mined in South Africa. So, certain provinces are platinum-rich locations in South Africa. We're talking about provinces such as Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and Northwest. So, these are the three major provinces that have got the most platinum mines. For example, when you look at Modikwa Platinum Mine, the Modikwa Platinum Mine, I know it myself, it is found somewhere in Tubatse in Pegasfort. Okay, there are many other more mines in Mpumalanga as well, especially towards the Nelspruit regions, in Komati Port, as well as parts of Northwest as well. We do have platinum mines. So in this video, we'll be looking at specifically what factors are causing most mine production to be happening in those areas. We're also going to look at the factors that hinder the production of platinum, and then we're also going to look at the significance as well as the contribution of platinum mining to the economy of South Africa. So let us look first at the factors that favor platinum mining. When we look at factors that favor platinum mining, we are specifically looking at the factors that cause platinum to be mined more, or the factors that actually make the platinum mining to be more efficient. All right, what makes us to be able to mine more platinum in South Africa? First of all, there are large mineral deposits. So there's a large mineral deposits in South Africa amounting up to 70% of the global supply. You need to understand that South Africa is one of the most richest, I think it's the richest, the most, I don't know which is the best English to use, but basically there is most of the world's platinum is found in South Africa. Most of the Earth's platinum, it is found in South Africa. Up to 70% of the global supply of platinum is found in South Africa. Hence, South Africa is a very rich country because of this. So there are large mineral deposits, especially in Limpopo, in Northwest, as well as Mpumalanga. These places, they've got a lot of platinum that is found and underground, and it needs to be mined and be used for different commercial activities. All right, there is also advanced technology. Right, so basically in South Africa, since South Africa has got the most the largest mineral deposits in the world, basically we also do have advanced technology to be able to mine the platinum, because basically to be able to mine the platinum, we need some equipment to be able to dig down and remove the soil on top until we get to the platinum, because it is mined and it is found very deep underground platinum, and it is a very valuable mineral because it has got a variety of uses as well. All right, so we do have advanced technology to be able to do that, whether we need I don't know, machines or whatever it is, but basically we do have advanced technology in South Africa to be able to dig down and be able to mine the platinum and be able to use it for our different commercial purposes. All right, and furthermore, one other factor that favors platinum mining is that in these places such as Northwest, Limpopo, and Mpumalanga, there is good transport infrastructure that is available. We are talking about road infrastructure, we're talking about water transport, or we're also talking about air transport as well. All right, so when you look at the regions somewhere in Limpopo, in Mpumalanga, and Northwest, we do have main roads, and those main roads, they do not have any potholes. We're talking about roads that are this smooth. Okay, I don't know which exact region is this, but I'm just showing you as an example to say that we do have roads that are smooth enough for transporting platinum. Because imagine if our roads were rough and they had potholes and they were not maintained, then we will not be able to transport the platinum effectively. So what favors us to be able to mine more platinum in South Africa is that there is a good transport infrastructure. It's fairly good. In some places it is not that good. In some places there are potholes, but the places that are that are involved in mining, most of the places that are involved in mining, all of the roads that are leading towards the mine or away from the mine, they are usually smooth roads, and it is very easy to navigate through them from one company to another. Because after mining the platinum, we need to sell it somewhere, right? So we need to transport it. A part of the process here is transporting the mine, the platinum. Maybe you want to transport the platinum from the Northwest province, maybe from one of the mines there in Northwest, and you want to transport it to KZN so that you can be able to sell it to maybe international markets or ship it to international markets. It needs a reliable transport system, and we do have a good roads for that to happen, and those roads are useful and they favor platinum mining. Furthermore, we do have a large labor force in South Africa. So basically, when there is mining does not only involve skilled workers, mining also involves unskilled workers, all right? So in a mine, you're gonna see multiple workers. A mine, I don't know, an estimate, let's just say there are 1,000 workers on a mine. Those workers, they've got different skill levels. Some of them, they are skilled workers. Some of them, they are unskilled workers. Some of them, they are doing each and every one of them, they're doing different roles. That is why a large labor force becomes an advantage in South Africa. And with this unemployment rates in South Africa, there are always more people that are ready to work. Okay, there's a high unemployment rate in South Africa, so there are always more people that are ready to work and be able to accelerate mining production in South Africa as well. So the presence of a large labor force is a very important factor, and it favors platinum mining. Because if I say, maybe let's just say I discovered a platinum deposit maybe in KZN, I can be able to register and start my mine there, and I would have to employ people locally. And considering that South Africa has got a large labor force, considering the population of South Africa as a whole, there are more people in South Africa, both with skills, others with unskilled, others without skills. So the labor force is diversified, like it is a diverse labor force. We have skilled workers, we have unskilled workers, and each and every one of them can be able to get a particular role in a mine. So each and everyone is accommodated, and this is one of the factors that favor platinum mining. Okay, so now let's look at what factors can hinder this platinum mining. Oh, furthermore, one more factor, platinum has a large market as well in South Africa, such as the automotive industry. As I've already said, guys, that platinum is a precious mineral. It is used to do precious things. There is even platinum jewelry. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's very expensive because platinum is very rare to find. Okay, so platinum has got a large market. It can be sold as a commodity to outside countries, can be exported from South Africa, and it can also be used to make multiple products. We're talking about automotive products, for example, your cars as well. Part of the materials that are making your cars, platinum is involved. Your equipment, your heavy equipment, and your steel and whatnot. Your heavy equipment also requires platinum as well, because platinum, it is a strong mineral, so it is very useful in making, the products that we use each and every day, especially those products in the automotive industries. Okay, but now let's look at what factors hinder platinum mining, because as much as we have got factors that are favoring mining platinum in South Africa, there are also factors that make platinum mining very difficult in South Africa. All right. First of all, being the on-site accidents. All right. So usually in a mine, there are usually safety protocols that must be taken so that accidents do not occur frequently. All right. But that can never be perfect, by the way. So there are usually on-site accidents that happen in this mine. So mine workers, we need to also give them that respect, because they are always working under risk. All right. Yeah, as much as they can have good protective equipment, but things can happen. Okay, your geographical events can happen, your geological events can happen, and the mine can just shut down. can just break down, like maybe an earthquake comes through and you are inside deep down under the mine, you are going to just be buried there. All right, so it is a very risky environment to go to, but it is worth the risk considering its contribution to the economy. But it's a risk actually hinders the platinum mining, because if more people are going to be dying in platinum mines, then less people will be interested to be employed there. So we already know that that factor is giving friction to this platinum mining thing. Okay, so these on-site accidents, sometimes there are also safety concerns, right? There are other mining companies that do not really take safety as a primary measure. Okay, like practically they do not take safety as the most important primary measure. So there are always these safety concerns among workers. Maybe workers are not getting enough protective equipment, maybe workers are not getting enough clothing, all right, maybe workers are not getting enough helmets or something like that, all right. And these on-site accidents and safety concerns, they actually cause labor strikes. Okay, so people might end up striking against the mine because there are other people that are just neglected. They don't get the helmets, they do not get the gloves, they do not get the goggles to be able to prevent themselves from getting the spikes from those mining processes. So that safety concern can be maybe the responsibility of the mine, but the mine maybe doesn't take it seriously, and that actually leads to labor strikes. People can start striking. Labor strikes, they are not only caused by safety concerns, even salaries as well. We do have people that are complaining about the salaries that they are getting. So labor strikes, they are caused by many things. You find workers striking and saying, no, we don't want to go and work anymore because we're not getting enough PPE. Maybe some of them, they are getting injuries in the mines because they are not getting enough personal protective equipment. So these on-site accidents and safety concerns, they often have problems because they lead to labor strikes. And these labor strikes and unrest, they actually lead to loss of profits in the mining industry. For what reason? Basically, when people are striking because of maybe PPE, or maybe people are striking because of salaries, who will be there to work for the mines? Let's just say that let's just say 50% of the mine workers, they decided to strike today. So it means no one is going to be working. So the labor unrests and the labor strikes, they actually cause the company to lose profits, because who is mining if we are all striking out there? So it's like this is actually dragging the company back down. So it's a factor that hinders platinum mining. And these labor strikes is something that happens frequently. If you go and watch the news, or maybe you read newspapers, you're going to note that most people, they are striking because of labor related issues. They are striking because of PPE. They are striking because of unfair relations, or maybe unfair salaries and all of that. So labor strikes, they can be stimulated by many factors, but the bottom point is that they always lead to the loss of profits in the mining industry. The platinum mining industry will suffer because people are striking. But what should they do if they're not protected? But if we're looking at it from the economic perspective, the mine will always lose their profits. Okay, for example, this is a labor strike where people are asking for the minimum wage to be raised, because as much as these mine workers are facing these harsh working conditions, and a risk of death each and every time, or let me just say maybe a risk of injury each and every time, they also need to get a fair wage. They need to get a fair payment, because they are working under risks for their families, especially of your fathers. Your fathers, they are working so much hard for you to be able to survive there in the household. So they deserve to get enough salaries. They deserve to get enough wages. And labor strikes can arise from the mere fact that people are not getting paid enough for the work that they're doing, because mining on its own is risky. It is also hard work as well. It's a very dangerous, it's a risky industry, and it requires a lot of hard work, manual labor. So it deserves the salary. So it is one of the things that can a concern, the labor strikes as well. And looking at the taxes that are involved in mining, there are high taxes that are paid on all profits. So all profits that you earn from the platinum that has been mined, there are always taxes, all right, because the government has got a tax system, right? Remember that taxes are very essential to be paid because they are used to be able to develop your roads, your infrastructure, and all of that. But if there are too many higher taxes, you will never be able to get enough profit from your platinum mine. If I mine some platinum and I get some platinum, and now I want to sell it to some company, and when I'm selling it to that company, I have to be charged a lot of taxes, then I'm not going to get enough profits. And if I don't get enough profits, I might have to retrench some workers, I might have to fire some workers and suspend them because the mining thing is not beneficial to me. Remember that most of the times companies want to maximize profits, they want to make more profits, and they want to minimize losses. Okay, so once it happens that the taxes rise, the taxes for that are involved in selling of platinum, then it means that I will have to end up charging my platinum at a higher price, or I would have to pay my workers less money so that I can earn my profit. Otherwise, money is not going to grow from the trees and I will black it out. No, I would have to do one of those things. It is either I'm going to increase the prices of platinum, and if I increase the prices of platinum, it means that I'm losing business there. There are less people who will buy from me because I'm doing what? I'm now selling with a higher price. I'm now selling my platinum with a higher price. Or I have to make sure that I have cheap labor. I pay less to my workers. Maybe I was paying them 25,000 rand per month, but now I have to reduce maybe up to 15k, reduce by 10,000 rand just so that I can earn my profits. And that hinders platinum mining because workers will be like complaining and they will end up leaving the workplace because they feel like they are not respected enough, they are not recognized enough in terms of finance. Okay, so these high taxes, they've got great implications on the mining operations and they do hinder platinum mining. One more factor is load shedding and power cuts. Load shedding is one of the most biggest contributing factors. To be able to do mineral processing, we need a lot of electricity. There's a lot of electrical power and electrical energy required to process minerals. Mining the minerals on its own requires a lot of electricity. What more, processing the mineral processing requires a lot of power, high voltages there. All right, so if there are power cuts and load shedding, we already know that there will always be the lower production of platinum. The platinum will not be processed that much. All right, so there will be a lower production of platinum, and since this production of platinum, it is usually dependent on electrical power. Without electrical power, as I say, you cannot be able to just say you start taking, I don't know, take your cups and you start mining using your cups, or maybe mine using your hands. You like remove the soil until you get to the platinum. That's so unrealistic, guys. So we'll need equipment to dig down. We'll need equipment to process the platinum. We'll need equipment to clean the platinum, and that equipment, it functions on electrical power and electricity. So if there is load shedding, frequent load shedding, then power cuts, that will actually eventually lower the production of platinum, I mean, right? And one more of the most important one, it is that the mining activities such as mining platinum, it destroys the natural and the physical environment, the natural or the physical environment. All right, so basically the platinum that we are talking about and the minerals such as your gold and your what they are found deep underground. So you have to till the ground, you have to like dig down deep, or you have to open a big area and keep on digging down until you can be able to get the platinum. This is a snippet or an example of a platinum mine. I'm sure you guys can see it. Do you see that they've dug down deep here using their machines to be able to get to the platinum? It's an open cast mine, this one. It's very deep and they are destroying the environment, all right? And part of our sustainable development goals is that we need to have sustainable development. We need to have development whereby we do not destroy our environment, because this environment will be required by the future generation. Imagine if we continue to mine in this style each and every time, destroying the environment. Those mining activities, they destroy the natural or the physical environment. Hence, they must be reduced and they must be limited. So if I was to start my platinum mine, maybe I find there is platinum in Gauteng, and I start mining that platinum and I start mining it. Authorities and those organizations that are involved in this climate change thing, they'll be looking at the effects that I'm bringing to the environment, and they'll be like, no man, you are doing too much now. You are doing too much and you are destroying the environment, and they'll start limiting me. Even if I want to keep on digging more, they'll start limiting me. So these mining activities, since they are destroying the natural or the physical environment, they must be limited. They must be reduced. Sometimes even the government implements measures to reduce the cutting down of trees, the deforestation, and all of that. Because if we destroy our environment, the effects. We're going to have some global warming, a lot of climate change. And what about our future generation, the children that we are giving birth to each and every day actively? What are they going to do? How are they going to survive? Because they will also need to develop the country further. And the development needs to be sustainable. We need to leave enough resources for them to be able to use in the future, and not only think for us now. But now let's look at the contribution of platinum to the economy of South Africa. Platinum contributes significantly to the gross domestic product of South Africa, because these mining companies, they pay taxes to South Africa. As I've already said, that there is a lot of tax involved in mining these minerals, and selling them as commodities is also taxes. There are a lot of expenses involved in platinum mining, and platinum does contribute to the gross domestic product because those taxes are being paid to the government. They are paid to South Africa's economy, of course. So hence, if we have more platinum mines, then it means that we have more tax that is being paid. Tax can be used to do a variety of things, of course. So these taxes from platinum mines, they stimulate economic growth. They do what? They stimulate economic growth. By that, it simply means that, of course, if we have got more money in the country's bank account, if we've got more money in the country, that money can be used to stimulate economic growth. It can be used to build schools, to build infrastructure. Infrastructural developments such as your roads and your bridges, they are built and they are maintained because of the taxes that you pay to the government. All right. So, for example, if your roads have got potholes and the government comes, the municipality or the local government comes and fixes those potholes, what money are they using? Did you give them money? Yes, you did give them money through taxes. All right. For example, when you're buying products each and every day, when you're buying your food products, your lower order goods, you have to pay tax. The value added tax is part of your receipt there. All right. That tax goes to the South African government and it is used to stimulate economic growth and development. So similarly, platinum mining, since it is contributing a highly significant amount to the gross domestic product, then effectively the taxes that are being contributed by these platinum mines, they are used to stimulate economic growth. They are used to make infrastructural developments in South Africa. And also, platinum contributes to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So if you are familiar with stock marketing, basically we do have one of the largest stock exchange sites, which is the JSE. The JSE is where you can be able to buy shares and you can be able to buy some stocks and invest and trade, all of that. Trading and investment contributes quite a significant amount to the economy of South Africa. Hence, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange also depends on the commodities such as the platinum that is being mined. Okay, because basically for us to have value in a country, we need to have these minerals. These minerals, they bring value in a country. All right, so platinum and gold and your other minerals, they are part of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. People can be able to buy stocks within the JSE. And some of these things, you understand them maybe when you spend more time researching on them. You also can be able to buy some stocks on the JSE market as well. These stocks, they do stimulate economic growth, and they do bring quite great economic growth. So it's a very significant contribution to the economy of South Africa. And then the platinum mines are funded, they actually funded the development of infrastructure in South Africa. As I've already said, that infrastructural development, they are contributed heavily by platinum mines. Remember, for you to have an effective platinum mine, you need to have good infrastructure. For example, if you want to transport your platinum maybe from Limpopo to Johannesburg, transporting that platinum requires a good road. Otherwise, if the road is going to have some potholes, then the truck is going to experience some accidents and all of that. So platinum mines, they have to make sure that there are good roads so that they can be able to transport their platinum. Okay, so platinum mines actually funded the development of infrastructure. And these roads are not only used by platinum mines, the roads are also used by us as humans, right? So if I were to develop a platinum mine and next to me I've got roads with potholes and all of that, I have to make sure that I fix those roads on my own, because I need reliable road infrastructure to be able to transport my mine, to be able to do my operations, to be able to work on my mine. So basically, platinum mines actually lead to the development of infrastructure in South Africa. And furthermore, job creation is one of the most important one. This is one of the most important contribution of platinum mines. Jobs are created when we've got more platinum mines, because as I've already told you, that the large labor force consisting of about skilled and unskilled workers is one way of creating jobs. The fact that I can start a platinum mine and I can employ people, that is contributing to job creation. All right. And not only this, there are many other factors that make mining a very important contributing factor to the economy of South Africa. Even your bursaries, there are platinum mining companies that give bursaries. Even your gold mining companies and your coal mining companies, they do give good bursaries to be able to enhance and enrich the skills of the people. Even Eskom itself, Eskom does have quite a lot of bursaries. It helps, those young learners that are coming from your matric to go and do their degrees and eventually become workers of that mine. So those are good and significant social impacts as well. There are many impacts of these platinum mines, not only economic impacts, we also do have impacts to the people, social impacts. Some of them you need to state them on your own. I did not include them in this video, but there are some social impacts to the people that are being brought by these platinum mines. So in conclusion, great souls, this is all I have for you today with regards to platinum mining. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.